All right, welcome everybody to, I believe, week 4 of this season of the NSL. This week's match will be taking place. We will have Saltier Skulks versus Alski Syndrome. Right now, we're simply waiting for everybody to join the server. So this match should start in the next few minutes, I hope. The maps today will be Summit, sorry about that. So we will be starting off today with Summit. Looks like the teams are almost ready to begin. They're just trying to get MST approved as a merc, maybe? He's part of their official roster, though, so could just be a technical thing. So this is Summit version 334. I don't believe that this is the version of the map that's on pubs at the moment. Yeah, there's no waterfall here, so it's a little bit older, but it's not the old Summit that used to be played, which, quite frankly, was quite marine favored. There's a lot more places to hide now. There's a lot more doohickeys on the map. Before it was very, very open, long corridors everywhere, very tough for skulks or aliens to escape or get by, even despite the amount of vents on the map. So I'm interested to see what kind of strategies we have going on between the teams. Flight control is much safer now. Well, the RT is still here. This is one big change that the pub map has that the competitive map doesn't. Pub puts the RT here. It puts it in a little pocket and doesn't allow it to be desysted, basically. Now that the RT is here, it's very easy if the aliens do have flight for Marines to come in, simply desist and kill the RT. Likewise, it's actually quite easy for the aliens to bite this RT if it's in the Marines base as well. It's not uncommon to see that. If I had to be a betting man, I would probably say that the aliens will start in data core here, and generally one of the safer strategies now is to put a tunnel up here at the top of Atrium. You could put it here, you could put it next to here, basically put it forward next to this. It makes it very tough for the Marines to come in and get a position on the tunnel that way. They do have this vent in the back, but it's not great. The Marine, of course, limited movement in there, you could even spin him to death. And it's also very easy to stop any pressure to your third RT. They would have to come up here from Crossroads into Glass, and that's just not easy to do if you have a Skulk in position already. As you can see, the Skulk can hide here as a Marine's coming. The Skulk can even hide up here. It's very tough to see him, especially if there's a web or two here in the way of the Marine. And it's very easy to guard your entire top lane. You are exposed, of course, in data. Likewise with the flight RT. This RT is probably one of the worst in the whole game as a natural or as a base RT. Marines can simply walk up here from Pipe Junction. They can come from Crossroads or from Vent and walk into your base, desist this, and get in a very nice position. It's very hard to clear them. As you can see, it's a lot of space, and there's nothing to really hide behind if you're a Skulk. So very easy to kill this RT over and over again, even if it's in their base. But I would assume that they would start in data and do this atrium tunnel. But let's see. Now Ranger's a very creative player, so maybe he has something else in mind. So it looks like from the rosters that Alski Syndrome today is missing Shu. Instead, they have Kitten playing, who's on the roster as well. Kitten is a newer player compared to Shu, of course. Shu has been playing since Natural Selection 1. And all of these players are very good. I would say Alski Syndrome definitely the favorite to win, but I like to root for an underdog as well. Alski Syndrome has a lot of very experienced players on here versus Saltier Skulks' newer players. Knightsy, Noki, Billy, Loam, very, very old players, very experienced, very talented. Kitten is their newer player on here, and Ranger is also newer. I'll go over Salty Skulks' roster after this round. Looks like we're starting now. Alright, so aliens did start in data, and immediately they do sys north. Okay, definitely the safest thing to do here. Loam is going gorge here in pipe. Wonder if he's going to do a tunnel and vent, and they'll have a tunnel and reactor, so they can actually hold 4 RTs, the tunnel acting as a large cyst. We'll have to see. Okay, so Risk is sneaking up here. Can he get Noki? Yes, he can. He runs back with his parasite. Okay. We still have Kitten ambushing Atrium. That's the area they want to secure, so not surprising. Knightsy with a nice ambush here in Crossroads. Sorry about that, Crossroads. Alright, so Marines instantly up to 3. Yeah, Loam with the tunnel here. Does this reach? Maybe it does when it's fully infested. Okay, so we have Risk and Green Rex pushing into Atrium. They killed the Drifter. It's nice. But they do get completely cleaned by the Skulks. 3 Skulks here. Ooh, Ritual in a nice position, but Ritual pushes forward. Unfortunate. Ritual needs to stay back here in this case and try to drag the Skulks to him. By pushing forward, it makes it a very easy kill for the Skulks, and now they take the RT. So a bit of a misplay there, but it was a nice try. Alright, so Pistas should have heard Billy in the vent and should have called that out to Risk, who's going down there now. And the tunnel is now established. Okay, so they have the tunnel to vent an Atrium. This is simply so it's a big cyst here, and Marines cannot take this RT very easily. They have to kill the tunnel if they want to remove the infestation. Alright, so we have 3 Skulks around here trying to control the middle of the map. Easily will do that, easily. And they go backwards. Okay, they have nothing really to kill, and they don't want to overextend here in Comp Lab. Billy in the base, just to put on some light pressure on the IP. He's able to kill MST, and we have a pause coming right as Ritual exits the chair. Billy should be able to get this. Yeah. Yeah, Billy's underneath Ritual. He didn't take any damage, and Ritual already took 1 bite in a parasite. So that's going to be another kill for Billy. This is looking quite rough for the Marines at the moment. Aliens should lose Vent. Let's look at the positions of them on the map right now. Okay, they're in their base. One of them, Noki. So Noki and Ranger will stack up for Vent. Pistache is in a good position here in this room, though. Well, not great, actually. He's between the pillars. It's going to be hard to see the Skulks. So let's see what he can get done. Pistache kills his teammate. That's just typically not what you want to do, and he dies. But he does kill the RT at least. Okay, so Billy was cleaned up in base, which is good. Looks like Ritual killed him. So now Datsu putting on some pressure, forcing the aliens to respond to him here. Loam is going to rebuild Vent at the same time. He's going to play a little bit of Ring Around the Rosie with one Skulk. This Skulk's going to wait till he has some backup from the Skulk coming from glass, and they'll attack him at the same time. But Datsu's just he's just lasering. Gets Nightsea to 10 HP. Alright, so aliens are back up to 4 RTs. Marines are still on 2, trying to get to 3. The res graph right now is very, very rough. You never want to see this as a Marine, with the aliens out-resing you. So we have Lurk res now, and Nightsea's going Lurk. We have Risk, who's attacking the tunnel, but the Gorge is right there. And Loam will just ignore Risk, because he knows the Lurk will kill him. And it will heal Reactor instead. Reactor's attempted to be pressured, but all the aliens are in position for it, so... Billy able to get by. Oh, okay, Billy directly going to engage. And we have 2 Marines attacking down here in Vent. Billy cleaned up by Nightsea. Here comes the next attack in Vent. With all of the aliens coming in. Marine P-Stash falls to his death. They do sack on the RT. So 2 RT kills for them, but because they died there, they will also lose sub. So not really worth it for the Marines in this kind of res scenario. Trading 1 RT to lose one of your own when you'll be put behind the aliens is not a really acceptable trade, in my opinion. So now they're going to get a double pressure up to Atrium, maybe to clear the tunnel. They do have Kitten as a Lurk now as well. Okay, so they're double building the RT. Very risky move, but Billy will probably get a Parasite from the Vent here, and Kitten will begin the spike. Nightsea can rotate to this at any time, by the way. Him and Loam are by the tunnel, which goes to Atrium. So they have Billy got both Parasites. So as the Marines move in, I would expect Nightsea to take the tunnel. Yeah, now he's going to do it. And they will crush these Marines. They know it's 2, and they're split at the same time. So the Marines know that the Lurks are here. Everybody's coming for it's a big party for the aliens. Hive is dropped on top of them as well. Doesn't matter if they know. The Marines can't really do anything about it at the moment. They only have A2. They have no weapons. They have no weapons 1. They do have 2 IPs. But they keep losing RTs. They cannot hold them to tech. So Datsu's trying to put some pressure on, but needs to wait for his buddy. Unfortunately, Billy should be able to kill this RT. Oh, barely saved it. Barely saved it. 6%. If the Lurks want to be cheeky, they can just go kill it. We have more pressure going on to Vent all the time. They did kill the tunnel and everything down there, but they lost Comp Lab. And now they lose Crevice. So the Marines are more or less going to concede. They should concede the top part of the map and only pressure it now, not rebuild. So we have 2 sets of double pressure going on here with no obs. If the aliens notice this, they could go base. But looks like they won't. Instead, they're going to try to deal with these Marines here in Reactor. Alright, so let's see Datsu's laser. He does get them low. Very low. But unfortunately, no kill there. So as I said, this RT is very easy to kill, but Risk is not able to kill the cyst. It doesn't matter. The triple cyst comes back anyway. So here's Datsu again, trying to solo a Lurk. Quite a difficult position to do it in when he can go beneath you. So the aliens are now going to try to claim Crevice instead of Vent, and get back up to 4 RTs. And they've still, this entire game, exceeded or maintained parity with the Marines in the RT count. It's very, very alien favored, and we already have 7-minute fades. Pretty typical timing, but without shotguns, without any sort of weapons, And with limited RTs to med, this is becoming a tall order for the Marines to push forward. They do get Noki quite low. Everything is low. This is a staple of these Marines engagements. Everything gets low, but nothing dies. As I say, Kitten does die to a pinch from Green Rex. Shotguns finally started. The Marines will be put down to 2 RTs, though. They'll need to stay back a little bit and guard their 3 RTs down here before they can really push out too much. Green Rex doing the pressure for them right now. Billy missing a few swipes there, but it's fine. And we have P-Stash versus 1 Fade. Gets Noki to about half, so Noki has to go back and heal. Datsu again getting Knights low. But there's a Gorge here, so Knights can heal at the front lines. He instead chooses to go back to the Hive. Risk putting on some pressure, which is nice. And now the Skulks will attempt to take the south side. They know that this is where all the Marines' res is, so this is where they need to focus now. So what can Green Rex do? Bringing out the axe. Billy was low, but not that low. 129. It's going to take too many axe hits to kill him. So the Marine, I'm kind of surprised that the Marines are pushing in the crevice. This area is right next to the aliens' hive. It is a large area and beneficial for LMGs to push in, but their res is at the south side of the map. And the aliens know that they're pushing to the wrong place, so they're just going to kill their res now. Green Rex with some nice shotgun shots, but by himself, so can't do anything to the tornado. And now the Marines will be put down to 1 RT because they pressured the wrong location. These aliens are packing very, very well. MST trying to get that shotgun back before it expires, not able to. And now they're forced, since they pushed crevice and they killed it, they're forced to build it. But they're not able to. The Lurk is doing a great job with these spikes. They feel too pressured to build it. So what can Datsu do with his shotgun here? Okay, we have 4 Marines. 4 Marines on this side of the map. It's a bit surprising. The aliens are just looking on the south side, wondering where everything is. Loam is now deciding to build his Hydras here. And they'll do a 4 push into the Hive. I suppose that they feel that they need to get something done here. Great bone wall by Ranger. So they're following the Craig. They want to kill this. They want to kill any sort of passive healing that they possibly can. And we have Knightsy, Loam, and Noki in the base. Not good. Ritual's going to med himself and hop out. Billy going very low, but 1 IP down. They have a Gorge in the base. Unfortunately, this trade just did not work out for the Marines. They may be able to kill the Hive, but of course, it doesn't really matter. No comm to med, though. All Ranger needs to do is ground spike. There he goes. Oh, he decides to bite. And the round goes to Alski Syndrome. Now, the entire time, the aliens were in control of that game. I mean, let's look at the stats first. So, we had decent player damage from Datsu and from Green Rex. Not surprising. Lots of structure damage from Risk, so he was continually pressuring the aliens. So was P-Stash. And on the alien side, Knightsy, of course, high accuracy with his Lurk bites. Not too much spiking going on. And lots of structure damage from Ranger and from Loam. Pretty much all around, actually, even for the Fades. So the Marines, as I said, they couldn't get much of the way of RTs. So their tech was very stunted. 7-minute weapons 1, armor 2, shotguns at 8 minutes, but by 8 minutes, they're down to 2 RTs. They can barely med the fights with the shotguns, so it doesn't really matter. This is a very, very rough res graph for Marines. When you have a res graph like this, there's not much you can do. And the kill graph says it all as well, unfortunately, for the Marines. But Still an interesting game. Very good play by the aliens, always balling up. Makes it very difficult to kill a life form if they're in a ball. If the Marines don't focus the same thing, everything gets low and nothing dies. This happened quite a few times during the previous game because of this balling. And I believe the Gorge stayed alive the entire game as well, so just getting so much value out of him. Alright, so now we're going to the next round here where Alski will be on Marines and we will have Salty Skulks on aliens. And Salty Skulks start in sub. That's interesting. Are they going to assist towards data? Yes, they are. Okay. Flight control is much harder to hold in this pub or in the competitive version. So they're going to try for a tunnel. I suppose that another place you could put a tunnel is here. Again, it creates a choke, just like up in Atrium. Very tough for the Marines to push, but it is a lot more susceptible to a push from pipe, because Marines can get in a good position back here if they push from behind. And it's also much easier to get in a good position here. So they committed 3 Skulks, but 1 is dead already. That's really bad. Oh, this is bad. Oh, no. Now, 1 Skulk will try to be a hero. This Gorge is trying to be a hero, but too much. Gorge is already dead. He did get the tunnel down, but you have 2 Marines that are in position. And this is a death position. You can see it's a shooting gallery, and they just run backwards. That's all they need to do is continually run backwards. These Skulks do manage to clear them, but already we can have reinforcements coming. Billy did decide to go Crossroads to build. He figures now that the Gorge is dead, this should be quite easy to push. They have no Hydras, they have no webs, no clogs. So this is not tough. Loam is pushing forward with a Parasite. Okay, but he's not going to push in. He does bait 1 Skulk by doing that, though. Oh, no. Oh, no. Versus 3 Marines. They lose almost everybody from their team. And the Marines, again, will get in position and just back up, and they kill the Skulk. Oh. This is rough. The aliens do not have a commander, and they are egg-locked at the moment, so they are spawning very slowly. Marines could basically do whatever they want right now. Noki killed a Drifter. Because it looks like P-Stash ran out of the base without getting eggs. Now Green Rex got eggs, but going to lose another Drifter. That's 16 T-Res down, and that is 3 spawns of eggs, so that's 15 T-Res. 31 T-Res already gone for nothing. So Ranger building an armory in the middle of the map. Interested what he wants to do here with this. Does he want to get earlier shotguns? Let's get parasited by MST. Now let's see what Ranger decides to research here. Okay, so now Ritual, I think, is gunning for a crush here. Yeah, he has a shift hive. So Knightsy's shooting the Drifter. He knows it's low. There's no Skulks there anymore. That Drifter will die. Tanoki. The Marines are covering all their lanes. No meds here. Ranger just trying to desist. So they have... Oh, maybe it's for healing, actually. Healing and welders, forward welders. So it looks to me like the Skulks are trying to position for some kind of crush. There's no real reason to be sneaking like this unless you're not. Okay. So we have 2 Skulks here. They do kill the armory. That's 10 T-Res gone. Doesn't really matter, though. Loam and P-Stash just go by each other. That's fine. And P-Stash is just going to bite the RT. Okay. Just going to bite the Artine reactor. Now they have an OBS too, so Ranger can freely scan everywhere to see the locations of these lurks. We have 4 lurk eggs, and Noki. Oh, he was sneaking. Oh, it's tough to call this timing. Okay, they know it's a push. They know it's a base rush. So all the lurks, they have 2 Marines in the way. 2 Marines are shooting them, so they're going to get very low. And 1 lurk actually dies to Knightsy before he gets in the base. Another lurk down. And a beacon. And 2 lurks will escape at very low health. Yeah, unfortunately, you know, that was seen from a mile away. They did, at the same time, drop this hive, but they have no one over on this side. The lurks escaped from the other side. They escaped from reactor to data, and they dropped flight. Not that it really matters. This is also the easiest hive to push with Marines, because, again, look at this. Look how much room you have to just stand here and shoot everything that comes at you. So, GG. Again, another dominating victory by Alski Syndrome. But to me, that all comes down to that initial engagement that the aliens had here in Data. If you put this tunnel down, you cannot lose all of those aliens. You cannot lose all the Skulks and the Gorge in the first engagement. You typically lose the game if that happens, because it will just delete your entire map presence. It makes it very, very difficult. And then Marines will continually push you. And it's a very tall order to push out of your base at that point. It's why the atrium tunnel is typically preferred as well. Alright. So now we move to another map, Unearthed. And this map is a newer one that was made by Cash. Doesn't see much play. Typically, newer maps don't. I know in the past this map got some pretty questionable performance, but I believe that that's fixed now. And from the last time that I played this map, I could see some changes. This RT, for example, in transfer, it used to be right here. So now it's in the center. Anything else? Cavity's the same. Furnace looks the same. Period's the same. Looks like the biggest change that I can see. So this map looks quite split just by looking at the mini-map, but this area, this little tunnel right here, well, at least in previous versions, Marines were able to climb up. I think Marines can still climb up this. And you can hop into this area, but you can't rotate back as a Marine. Or can you? I'm sorry, I haven't played this this newer version of the map yet. But in the previous versions, Marines were able to travel this way, but they were not able to come back. So it made pushing towards access and harvesting and Puri much easier. You don't have to take this long corridor to go like this. As for tactics that they'll do on this map, to be quite honest, I haven't seen too many games here, so I'm not entirely sure what the aliens will do. I would assume that they'll start in Furnace and probably expand towards harvesting. This would be the place that's basically the farthest away for the Marines to get to, the longest rotation time, so it would definitely be the safest hive to expand to. Technically, you could start harvesting and expand towards Furnace, but then you already can also go down towards Filt. But I think we'll probably see the Furnace harvesting expansion. Interested to see what the Marines will try to do in this map. And let's check out the stats from the last game as well before we start into the new one. So, for the Marines, it's quite a short game. Not going to see huge player damages here, but it looks pretty good. Noki doing a decent amount of pressure on the aliens as well by himself. Or he's the one who killed the Drifter and I think killed the RT in Data. Yeah, and as soon as they killed that, Ranger decided to get the armory to get the obs, because I think that he knew at that point the aliens' best hope would be a base rush. So very smart play by Ranger to get this early obs. Alright, so now the game is starting. So let's see where they decide to start. Okay, so they do start in Furnace. Alright. And we have 4 aliens going towards Toxic Pool. Loam is going to Gorge over here, probably an access to get the tunnel, I would assume. Okay, so you can see they're shooting through this little hallway, and the aliens are trying... Yep. Nice try from Kitten. We have another alien up here who can get them from behind. Yeah, Loam is going towards access right now to get his tunnel, and we have the Marines simply... We're going to cap their 3 RTs. So the Marines are going to push most likely towards Puri. They want to kill this cis chain here. And the aliens know it, so the aliens are stacking up. Nightsea with a great ambush from behind. Now we have 1 Marine here versus 2 Skulks. Very doable in that clear. And the aliens will lose 1 Drifter to MST. Loam gets his tunnel up. They don't have the tunnel in base. Up, they do. Okay, this tunnel's not grown yet. Nightsea trying to get a Parasite, dies to it. MST able to kill the Skulk, that's good. So he's putting some good pressure on this RT. I'd like to see the Marines do some more pressure, not just build this, but... Okay, so they have... This is also a mistake. You don't need two Marines over here. This 1 Marine is doing just enough. Now you need to commit your Marines on the right side of the map to destroy their res lane. Okay, Risk is pushing up on Parad, but Kitten could hear him, I'm sure. And he's... Yeah, he goes to die. Does kill one Skulk, though. So, Ritual, trying to come back here, doesn't see the Skulk that was above. It looks like the Skulk didn't see him either. Nightsea didn't see Ritual. Okay, now he does. Alright. Did he see him? I actually don't know. Yeah, he did. Okay, and Datsu was trying to push Loam on his own, but he gets caught by the pack. And now the other pack is here. So all the aliens are on the right side. The Marines know this. And Pistache is going to defend the okay. He does manage to kill the Skulk. Let's see where he goes. MST is also doing some good pressure at the same time. Again on Cavity RT.
I need a med pack stat.
So, Pistache will be able to push in a Puri and desist. We have Noki down in Filt just parasiting the Marines. It's a good job from him. The Marines should be able to see him up there. Yeah, he's dead. You see that you're able to see the Skulk from here. Pistache dies to a Lurk. Billy should be able to get this 1 RT down. And they drop Harvesting at 3 minutes. So basically just at Lurk timing, they drop the Hive. Nightsea not taking too much damage. He's able to come back in if he wants. And these 2 Marines, before they push in, they heard the Hive drop, but they want to kill the tunnel. This is Green Rex and Datsu, so I would say it's the best shooters right now. Let's see what they can do. Okay, they're just sacking on the tunnel. Well, the Gorge is there, and the Gorge will make the tunnel. He'll just heal this till it gets resisted, and they'll put the tunnel down again. So, quicker obs than usual from the Marines. They get the obs before A2 or Weapons 2, so they want to get some quick phase tech going. The Marines are pushing into the main Hive, again committing 2 Marines to Cavity. They don't really get much done when you push in the Hive, though, because they do have 2 Lurks. So the Lurks here are now checking to see, okay, what RTs do they have? They don't see Filt, so they know it's a max of 4. Marines are stacking around this RT. Looks like Pistache is in a battle with Noki, who is down below here in the Toxic Pool. So again, the aliens are packing on the right side. They're probably going to come from behind and try to attack Toxic Pool. MST taking a close position with an LMG. Does do some damage on Nightsea, forcing him to go back. 1 Marine who's parasited is pulled back. And Datsu as a parasite is going ahead of P-Stash. You should never have that because this is exactly what happens. So the Skull can get in position for the guy who's coming first and kill him. You should always have the non-parasited guy go before the parasited, because then you can get the Skulk off guard. So P-Stash desisting a little bit, but good drifter support from Ranger here. The Lurk NATO is able to kill him. They do have their gates up now. So they're going to try to get some map presence. But now Loam is coming down here to Filt. So I assume Loam will get a tunnel in Filt. And they will now, the aliens will now secure this area. So then they'll have 3 hives secured. Yeah, here's the tunnel. So the Marines see this. They know exactly what the aliens are doing, and they know that they need to deny this. They cannot let the aliens secure this area. What the Marines have to do now is get a gate, probably here in access. But Ritual hops out of the chair, no meds, and the aliens clean up the Marines who were trying to push. So Risk parasited, deciding to push this cavity lane, see if he could drag any aliens to him. And Loam is just getting some clogs at the door to try to be annoying. It's a big door to clog, though. I think he decided to give up on that. Just trying to make it just a little blocker for the Marines, but it's not a big deal. You can just hop over it. So we have weapons 2 and shotguns going up at the same time. We have the entire alien team coming here. Unfortunately, the position of these Marines, you saw what he had to do here. They were having the aliens come from every direction, so he has to start turning all around with an LMG. And that just makes it so you miss almost all of your shots. You can't hit anything. Always better to try to force the aliens to come to you, ideally from one direction. Or a predictable direction. So one Fade, or one Lurk does die. So Kitten dies to the shotguns. A little bit surprised by them. Billy going through the Marines, pretty risky, but he figured he could take it. And Loam left a Hydra and Babblers on this RT, which will kill it if one Marine doesn't go to it. So here we go, the triple Marine pressure again. They should be able to take this. Now the Marines are in the room, but the aliens are going to give it up, and they're going to go to this gate. Risk doing some work. Yeah, Loam's Babblers killed the RT, and this gate's dead. They will get another gate here as a very defensive gate, but they'll have to get the control back of the center of the map, and then they'll need to move the gate up to here in access. Excuse me, I'm a little bit sick. And one Fade goes down. Wow, Noki decides to test his luck, go into 3 Marines, and instantly gets popped. Kitten able to take this RT down, though. And now they have 3 Veils up. Well, 3 Veils to 2 RTs. Marines need to recap, and they need to get this gate back up. They have 3 Marines here, so definitely doable. If they decide to crush, they should be able to defend this. And they have 2 Marines, 1 Marine on the other gates. That's not good. Risk really needs to turn around. He really needs to go back and help Datsu. He really needs to go back, but he's not. So, doesn't matter though. The other Marines were able to get the Toxic Pool gate up in time, and the aliens did not crush when they had the opportunity. So, now the Marines have their 3 gates back up. They should get their 4th RT in extraction. This one's basically for free. Noki's going to check it. It's not there. Risk goes to pressure the RT. Not much he can do versus the Lurk and the Fade. But, okay, now the Marines are also pushing into access. Exactly what I think they should do. Noki is trying to be cheeky, but there are Marines on the gates. So, there's a limit to his cheekiness here. He does bring back both of these Marines. But there's also the crush here in Toxic Pool. This gate will go down again. I think they should pressure 2. If they want to get the access gate, they could pressure 2 in there and keep 3 on the gates. Or keep 2 on the gates and keep 1 in between to rotate to either, depending on where the aliens are. Fortunately, these Marines just keep getting caught out of position. So now the aliens will ball again on Filt. This time they won't be able to get the gate. We have all of the Marines rotating in. P-Stash getting some nice shotgun shots there. And the aliens are all just chilling up here. And we have one Marine attempting to pinch, but they had a Gorge there healing the Fades and the Lurks, so they can't really get away with that. Now the aliens are now expanding into Toxic Pool. They have a tunnel here right next to their hive too, a little bit funny. They're going to get briefing as well. Okay, so now the Marines are going to put three into access and probably just get the gate here. This is what they've been trying to do for a long time. Yeah, now the gate is here, that the tunnel's dead. Risk, again, is trying to solve the pressure. Whoa! Risk lasers Kitten. Great job by Risk. So Kitten not able to re-lurk. So they're stuck right now with a solo lurk by Knightsy and a solo fade by Billy. They could push this hive. This hive doesn't have any PvE. They have one lurk and they have one fade. They have shotguns. They have 3 RTs, about to be 4. Well, about to be 3 again. But they could pressure this hive. I'd really like to see them do that with 3 to 4 Marines. Ritual has a decent amount in the bank. Sorry about that. I forgot to put the score. So we have the aliens on the gate again. Ugh. Really slow response for the Marines to get down there. So now the Marines will push with just 2. This is not enough, and they're dragged back to the gates. Okay, now they have 3, but they're showing it. So let's see what they can do. Risk not able to laser Knightsy, unfortunately. So the aliens are on the gates at the same time. This gate, they have a fade in the base. Gate will die. This hive's at 60. Yeah, these 3 Marines could just kill the hive. But instead will they? They have 37 T-res. Looks like they'll cap this at the same time, though. Knightsy's just being cheeky. He knows he can. They know they just need to clear these Marines, and it's probably game. Yeah. They just need, it doesn't matter if they sack a lurk there. They need to control this position, because now, as you can see, aliens control literally everything on the map. They have 6 RTs to 2. The Marines did have a timing there. So, it looks like the Marines will push back into Filt to try to deny this location. And the aliens at the same time know that they could just use this pressure and attack their base. There's really nothing the Marines can do about it right now. If they beacon, they can't beacon. They don't have the res. So the aliens are actually playing a little bit conservatively here, but of course they don't know the exact res situation of the Marines. And now we have a GG. Marines are very far off the map. Can't beacon, no res. And this round will go to Alski Syndrome. Again, convincingly played by the aliens. I still think a large portion of the problems from these Marines is simply... is simply pressuring to the wrong places. And if we look at the stats, again, 2k player damage about for every player, so more or less spreading it even. Good accuracies from them. High structure damage from MST this game. And pretty, well, other than Green Rex, pretty pretty leveled out build times. For aliens, again, Knightsy with very high lurk bite accuracy. carrying the aliens. Nice player damage, nice structure damage. Great structure damage by Kitten as well. I think that he lost his lurk first, but it doesn't matter. He did a great job killing all the Marines RTs. And speaking of the Marines RTs, even in the beginning, they were kind of getting outdone by the aliens. In parity, that's not what you want as Marines. You always want to be one ahead. But then by the time Fades came up, that's when it became. Even though they killed a Fade very quickly, the game was becoming to get out of control here. They kept losing all of their RTs, they kept losing all of their gates, lost their positions, and really couldn't get it back, unfortunately. It was close a few times. They had some windows, but just weren't able to clinch it. They were doing well, but again, until once Fades came out, that's when the kill graph went into the aliens' favor. It's pretty typical of these kind of games where the aliens win, of course. Alright, so let's see what the aliens plan to do here as well. I figure it'll be the same kind of start in Furnace, go to Harvesting. It's definitely the safest way to play the map. And I'm interested to see how the Marines will pressure in the beginning. I assume, again, they'll just cap briefing Extraction and then do another pressure into Puri to cut the sys chain if they start in Furnace. You could even immediately send 1 or 2 Marines, actually, up towards here. They make the jump, and they pressure into Crevice and Puri. Just to completely stop the expansion in the beginning. And have 1 Marine build Extraction. I mean, this room is not super... maybe it's easier now with this vent. Could be a bit easier, but it's pretty easy to see the Skulks, and you have a large distance. So you could solo cap this quite comfortably, I feel. Briefing may be a little bit different, but you still have large spaces. As long as you can look here, you have two entries of attack, of course, from Mining Tunnel and from Toxic Pool. Toxic Pool being a little bit more dangerous because it's closer. You have a large field of view here. So I think you could solo cap both of them and have a lot of pressure. But let's see what the Marines decide to do. Alright, so yeah, aliens start in Furnace. Let's see what the splits will be. Okay, so for Marine you have 3-2. Kitten getting stuck in the base, it's fine. And all the aliens are going towards the right side here. Quick Hive to Harvesting. Really don't think you need to do that on this map, but let's see how this works out. So, I'm not sure if the Marines know that this is a quick hive or not yet. Noki building... This is great. Great movement by Noki. Buying so much time, just going backwards, slowly, forcing the Skulks towards him, and the Marines coming up from behind. Puts the Skulks in a nice timer. 4 Skulks dead. And they're power capping this RT. Interesting, okay. So, looks like the Skulks want to prevent them from getting into Furnace from Toxic Pool. Bit interesting to me because the obvious play... The Marines are going to go towards Puri. They want to cut the sys chain if they don't know that it's a fast hive. Once they get there, they should have an idea, if they don't already know. 1 Marine. Noki's trying to make the jump. There we go. Good job. Skulks just kind of going in, but they do kill the Marines. Okay, so the pressure force is denied, but the Marines are on 4 RTs almost instantly. And the aliens have had to spawn, I believe, 2 rounds of eggs, so that's 10 T-res. Oh, 3 rounds. That's painful. The aliens, now that they spawn so many eggs, they're stuck on 1 RT. They haven't sisted anywhere, so they can't get a second RT. This means we can see 4-minute lurks, potentially. Yeah, so we're doing some pressure. They know. Oh, they lose the Drifter. Oh, no. Oh no, Noki, that's so annoying. Now it's 8 T-res for one drifter. On one risk, trying to play as well as he can. But Billy gets in. They had nobody ambushing here. Okay, so P-Stash is going to go for a cheeky tunnel, but they don't have a tunnel in their base. So I applaud the cojones of this guy, but there's no base tunnel, and they have no drifter. Okay, he did put. Okay, MST went Gorge too, just to build this. Oh, this is great. Oh, I want to see this. The Marines are so far away. The Marines are so far away. Oh, if Lom has to kill one. Lom has to kill one Skulk. Okay, he kills one. They have 2 Gorges here. And they have all the Marines back. Oh, no. Very interesting that MST didn't go Skulk. This was a very nice try from the aliens. They did get a decent position on it. GG is called, of course, but I'm surprised MST didn't go Skulk there. They should have had maybe 1 Gorge and the rest of them Skulks. They really need to kill Loam and not let Loam kill 1 alien. If they're able to do that, then they can potentially win. But with 2 Gorges, you just don't have the DPS. The Gorges don't have Bile, so no reason to have 2 of them. Nice try, though. Oh, that was exciting. And it looks like that this will go to Alski Syndrome 4-0. So it was nice games from both teams. Again, looking at the stats, of course, you can't really say anything about a 3-minute round. Going for okay, so they're just BMing the other team. That's great. So I'm not sure why they decided to go for a fast hive though in the end. This map, it's quite easy to hold this. You just have to hold around crevice and hold exposure or stop them. Yeah, just exposure and crevice. And if you're holding crevice, you have eyes on here, so you're able to tell if Marines are pushing here and are going to go towards access. Been interesting. They almost had it with that base rush. Very close. But anyway, GG's. This goes 4-0 to Alski Syndrome.